Where do you turn when you want to lose weight? You don't want to go to some muscle-bound dude or some skinny chick who's going to teach us how to do it, even though we probably should want to learn from them, but we feel like they're condescending us because they don't understand where we're at. We, of course, don't want to go to a fellow fat bugger because what could they teach us when they have no idea themselves? So we're stuck with nowhere to turn. Well, listen up, because we're going to try and find the answers together right here.
Wow, day 8, hey? Episode 8, day 8. Don't know how you listen to it. You shouldn't be sneaky. If you're listening to this without listening to days 1 through 7 and listening to daily, stop doing it that way. Don't bounce ahead, because then you're not doing the homework, then you're not getting the results. Good day, hey? Man, it's been a tough week. That first week was tough. Funny, today's no different, but I want to talk to you about a bunch of things today. Let's go through a little bit. Down on the beach again, no wind, so that's good. Should be able to hear me nice and clear. How good was yesterday, hey? Popping in with E.T., Eric Thomas. Did you check out any of his vids? If not, go do that, man. Go check out, the intro video, How Bad Do You Want It? Go have a look at that. For starters, it's good. So look, it was informal. It was just him in his car and stuff, but that's what we do once a week. I kind of feel like I'm cheating on you because I got my accountability buddy with Eric, but that's only once a week. We catch up every day. But yeah, E.T., he's one of the guys that really turned it around for me in a business sense. And now I'm going to use those same lessons with him in the physical sense, all the stuff I've learned from him. But in a business sense, what Eric asked me was, and it was years ago when I first kind of as a dream reached out to him, and I said, because I reached out to my favorite motivational speaker on the internet, Eric Thomas, and I reached out to his company and I said, what would it take to come to Australia? And it seems that a lot of people had done that over the years, had said, what would it take to come to Australia? And, I was the one who finally found a way to make it happen, that booked the venues and, it costs a lot of money to bring in international headline speakers like Eric and subsequently all the people we've worked with since. And yeah, it's pretty cool that what happened was I reached out, we made it happen, and at one of those early events, I heard Eric ask a question, and I can't remember who worded it, but two of my mentors asked the same question using different words. One was Eric who said, and I don't know which, these speakers might be swapped, but one question was, what would your goals be if you couldn't fail? And one was, what would your goals be if you weren't afraid? And I can't remember which one Eric asked and which one Jet asked, but there's another mentor of mine, Jet Xavier. Anyway, the answer was the same both times. I wrote down on my, and I thought I was just going through the exercise. I thought, if I'm the guy running the seminar, I better participate out of almost a sense of obligation, because the last thing I kind of want to do when I'm running a seminar is sit and take notes because it's so busy. But you know what? I disciplined myself where I can, and I went through the exercise, wrote down what my goal would be if I couldn't fail, or if I wasn't afraid. And so with that caveat in mind, I wrote down have Arnold Schwarzenegger headline at one of my events. And but then coming back to the real world, I thought, okay, now we've done the little exercise, let's get to work. And I didn't forget about it. It actually resonated when I noticed that this answer to the question for both times, months apart, was the same answer. And so what I then did is I told a few people in a little seminar that it was a goal. I didn't even say it was a goal. I said it was a dream goal that maybe one day, one of those goals that's on your bucket list, but you never kind of really expect to achieve it, But anyway, once I told a few people about it, this is embarrassing to admit, but anyway, we catch up like this, you get my innermost thoughts. So once I told a few people that it was a inverted commas goal, I thought, okay, I better go get an excuse for not achieving it. And how embarrassing is that? I'm supposed to be a success coach and, a guy they look to kind of know what to do to be successful. And here I am scared to death of my own damn goal, thinking, it's impossible. And so I reached out to Arnold's people, not knowing how to find them even, but I found, and I didn't even find his people as that. I found people who claimed to represent him that didn't. But anyway, after a lot of messing around, I finally found the people who represented him. And I asked what would it take. And what I was actually after was an excuse. I wanted them to come back with a plan and a figure and what it would take to do that so outrageous that it was impossible, that it couldn't happen, that it couldn't work, that we couldn't do it. And when I did all the numbers, venues, and everything that it would cost in travel and all of that, I ended up with the pretty scary situation of it being completely out of my reach, but not by an insane amount. You know what I mean? That if everything in my world came together, and I mean everything, if I called in favors from every friend, every client, if I said to clients that 10 years of coaching fees I need in advance and all of that, then it might just happen. So I did that. It was scary as crap. You can imagine. I'm down here at the beach and there's dogs off the leash. It's funny. Yeah, it was scary as crap because here I was, have said the goal. What it would take is insane, but not out of reach in what effort it would take. So I had to do it. So we did it. And kind of the rest is history. But it all started with our man who we were on the podcast with yesterday, Eric Thomas. Hello, puppy. Just patting the dog there. Our man Eric Thomas was on our podcast yesterday asking me a pretty scary question. So, long-winded way to get to that, but maybe ask yourself the question, what would your goal be if you couldn't fail? Now, I'm a good example of that, achieving that in a business sense, not so much in a physical sense, yeah, but I wonder I wonder if you could ask yourself what your outcome would be in a physical sense if you knew you could do it. I don't know, I've never asked myself that before, so you're really getting it raw because I don't know. Would I want to be a bodybuilder? Would I want to have a physique like a fitness model? You know, one of those skinny dudes but who's muscular? Would I want to be big and buff like The Rock who's kind of bulky, muscular? Arnold, Rock, you know, that sort. I don't know. All I know is no matter which way we end up going, this gut's got to go. So let's give the update. Let's get into it. Let's get into the journey. the trip, if you will. There you go. I often talk about head trip stuff, you know, there's what we, you know, when I talk about in business, I talk about we've got the what to do, right? We've got the marketing, we've got the business, we've got the money, we've got the sales, we've got all that stuff, we've got the what to do, and then we've got the head trip stuff. So I might use that as our categories for this, eh? The head is the how our head's thinking, and the trip is what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. So let's talk about the trip. Yesterday, despite the fact that I seemed pretty chipper and upbeat this morning, nice and early in the morning, I've been up since 4. Dogs are chasing us down the beach. Man, not a good day yesterday. After being up with Eric at 4 a.m, having a big day, 14-hour day work-wise. You know, I got to sleep at about 8:30, but I still rocked it for 15 hours hard. And man, the nutrition wasn't good. When I say nutrition wasn't good, it wasn't bad. I didn't break the dietary requirements or whatever that I've chosen to adopt, meaning I only have vegetables, as you guys know, vegetables. I still have dairy, I still have eggs and seafood. So I went and got tuna, which was my plan. You know, my plan is always 2 liquid meals and tuna as lunch, and kind of the only fast-ish food I have is sushi. So yesterday I got 2 days worth of sushi for yesterday and today. Knowing I had a busy day today, I do. As soon as I get back to the office, I've got full-on back-to-back appointments until 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight. So it's a full-on day, 4 a.m. till at least 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight. So it's big. So I got my lunch for today, you know, my physical meal, my non-liquid meal, sushi, tuna, cucumber. What else? Egg. I get an egg, sushi, whatever. I got 2 days worth. I got 8 sushi rolls. And I got some prawn ones actually, so I got 10 sushi rolls, 2 prawn ones. And with the stresses of the day and just all that, I ended up not having any liquid meals. I had all of the sushi throughout various stages of the day. Not all at once, but I had 2 here, 1 there, 3 here, and that's it. All the sushi's gone. Then, why did I have Man, here's the full disclosure. Why was I on the way back to the beach? I can't remember, but I was coming down to the beach. Maybe I just wanted to come for another walk because my walk yesterday was cut short. Don't know. Anyway, I was coming back down the beach, and man, on the way, I stopped in a Red Rooster and I got chips. Now it's still veggie. That's the way I justify it to myself. It's still vegetables. Man, potato chips, you're kidding me. For you guys, if you're listening international, that's fries, you know what I mean? That's the worst. Yeah, so anyway, full disclosure, that's what I did. And then on the way back home, man, still hungry. So I got a 6-inch Subway seafood with salad. So it's not the worst thing, but the problem is, even though I stuck to, I suppose, the dietary requirements, I had way too much. And with my daily measurement plan, which we've agreed is a bad idea, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm probably addicted to it, put on 1 kilo. So yesterday's 117.8, today's 118.8. So we're only 200 grams down from where we started, damn it. So the head's in a surprisingly good spot, despite the trip being not so good, meaning the activities haven't been the best. But the head's good because I got up this morning and I decided, all right, here's your penance, boy. Because I get these, meal replacement shakes that they call them. We call them liquid meals here on Fat to Phenom. So they've got these things you do maybe once or twice a month called a cleanse day. So that's it. I'm doing 2 cleanse days in a row now, today and tomorrow, cleanse day. So that's probably why I'm feeling up, because I know that I'm going to pay the price. Man, these dogs are noisy. I'm going to pay the price for I might turn around and go the other direction because they're walking right behind me. And they're a bit noisy. There's the puppy. Oh my God, they're killing each other. Yeah, so that's probably why I'm a bit chipper, is because I know that I may have been naughty yesterday dietarily, but I know that I'm paying the price for it today in a good way, you know what I mean? I've had my fun, now I'm going to pay for it. Probably, you know what? I probably shouldn't be so happy. It's probably akin to going on a shopping binge and ending up with a credit card debt that you've got to pay off. Probably not so good. Maybe we should do the equivalent of saving up and buying the thing we want. And then, just like often happens when you save up to buy the thing you want, when you do all the work to save up to buy the thing you want and you got to pay cash for it, maybe you find you didn't want it as bad as you thought you did. Hey, how about that for a metaphor? I like that. That if we go hard, drop 20 kilos, then we've earned having a day, or not even 20. Maybe, go hard for a week and find we've got a cheat day up our sleeve. Maybe then if we do that, we won't take ourselves up on the cheat day. Why bother undoing all that good work we did? I don't know. Anyway, I know I'm going to do 2 cleanse days right now and let you know how I go with it along the way. The cleanse days are, it's just that you take this cleansing powdery stuff, you drink a lot of water, you have a couple of nutritional supplements, but no bulk, no carbs, no protein. You just kind of clean it all out, but you still nutrition yourself. They got some pills and some supplements and stuff. So that's kind of the plan. And you know what? It's not the plan. It's what I'm going to do. It's what I'm going to do. So, because I've got the new mini goal. We know we've got the maxi goal, Phenom, right? This podcast one day is going to change to just Phenom. But right now it should be just called Fat. Shouldn't even be called Fat to Phenom. It should be called Fat. But anyway, so yeah, that's the plan. We're going to do that. Where was I going with that? Heads all over. Oh, your new mini goal. We know the maxi goal is Phenom. Mini goal 110, because the Arnold thing's coming up, so you're going to hear a lot. If you hate Arnold Schwarzenegger, best tune out for a couple of weeks, because I'm going to his house in 2 weeks and 2 days or so. What's today? Thursday. Yep, 2 weeks and 2 days I'll be at his house. So daily I'm going to check in with you with a new mini goal to be 110 by the time I get to his house. Don't know if that's possible. That's the mini goal. That's the mini outcome. I'm going to start calling it outcome, not goal. Goals are those things you never achieve. Outcome. I'm going to hit it. 110. Even if I've got to chop off an arm. As Kim in Kath and Kim used to say. Remember that? Remember Kath and Kim? Smokes and laxatives, Mum. Smokes and now I don't smoke, and I don't particularly want to take laxatives, but I'm going to be 110 by any means necessary. So I'm at 118.8 as of today. That means I've got to lose 9 kilos in 2 weeks and 2 days. Scared to even break that down as to how much that is a day. Probably about 800 grams a day, isn't it? Yeah, let's assume let's aim for a kilo a day and let's see. No, it's not less than that. No, it's less than that. What is that? A kilo a day would be 2 weeks and 2 days. That would be 16 kilos. I only have to lose 8.8. So it's about 500-600 grams a day. See, that's doable. We could do that. We could do that, especially given that yesterday was probably an artificial kilo that I put on, meaning, it was probably a lot of that still in my gut, that not all of it's going to instantly go to fat, surely to God. So I'll just go maybe for 2 walks a day, hit the gym 3 times, and stick to that dietary plan rigidly. So the mini goal, 110, 2.5 weeks. Wow. So the first week was kind of warm up, hey? That's what it was. First week was warm up. We kind of just screwed around with it. We had a few good days, a few average days, 1 or 2 bad days, and we ended up losing kind of a kilo in the week, Then day 8 we put the kilo back on. But we know it's not permanent. So this next 2 weeks and 2 days, I don't know about you, but I'm going to murder the game. So if you want to murder it along with me, that's good. Still, I know you may not have that sort of goal with that timeline and that deadline. So you do what's good for you. Check in with me. But if you want to come along with me on this mad journey, let's start with today being now if you're listening to this towards the end of the day, maybe tomorrow, but let's start with 1 day of just really having a perfect day. Right, I'm going to have a perfect cleanse day, and I know exactly what that means. When we talk about the head and the trip, it's very clear. I've got to eat their pills, drink a whole heap of water, eat their pills day and night, and that's it. Have their little cleansy stuff that'll clean out all the insides. Hopefully it'll scrub the intestines, get all that stuff out of them. I don't know if it does do that, but I want to get all that undigested stuff out of there, because I'm sure. Now, it was probably in a movie, I don't even know. It was in Beverly Hills Cop, wasn't it? Where Billy says to Taggart that there's like 20 pounds or 5 pounds or 10 pounds or something of undigested red meat in the average male body. And, now I'm sure the equivalent is in females, but I think Billy said in Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2 or whatever it was. And the Sarge Taggart says to Billy, "Why are you telling me this?" And Billy just says, "Well, you eat a lot of red meat, sir." Oh my goodness, my 80s pop culture background. So I'm only basing that on lessons from Billy Rosewood on Beverly Hills Cop in my nutrition, that I want to get all that undigested red meat out of my system somehow. So I'm hoping these cleanse days do that. How funny is that shit? That's funny. I amuse myself with you down here on the beach. All right, so that's the plan. Cleanse day, 2 days. That'll be a good kickstart taking me, I reckon, in the 2 days, and let's see how this works out. I reckon in the 2 days, this 118.8 will be down to 117.8 tomorrow, and I reckon 117.0 the day after. So in 2 days, I'll have made a good kick start towards the 110 by Arnold's. That's going to be our daily mantra for 2 weeks. 110 by Schwarzenegger's. 110 by Schwarzenegger's. 2 weeks, 2 days till we go to Arnold's house. The countdown is on. We're going for a party. So I will have a drink there. I will have whatever lovely dinner he puts on for us. So that's going to be my cheat day at Arnold Schwarzenegger's house. If ever you're going to have a cheat day, have it with a stogie in your mouth. Not that I smoke, but if ever I do smoke, it'll be with a cigar, with Arnold Schwarzenegger raising a glass at his house. It's going to be fun, hey? For a kid who dreamed of, Arnold and watching movies, I talk about Billy Rosewood and Beverly Hills Cop, so you can imagine I'm an 80s child. So I love freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's my hero, And now I get to socialise with him, I get to work with him, get to hang out. We worked out at Gold's Gym a couple of months ago. You might have seen the photos. Just put in Google Glenn Twiddle Arnold Schwarzenegger. You'll see the photos of me and him at Gold's. Man, I pinch myself. Sometimes when we talk about the head and the trip and we talk about how, the trip's all right, we get, we know what to do. We just don't do it. That's because of the head, how we feel. I think. No, I'm not sitting here preaching to you. Jesus, I'm the worst at this of all of us. But, I don't know, there's something to it. We're figuring that out. We're only 8 days into this journey. We've got to figure out the head now. I've figured out a lot of the trip, and I've figured out a lot of the head and the trip in business. I go hard in business. Who else does 14-hour days? Most people do 7 hours and 38 minutes or whatever and wonder when their next meal break is, For me, head down, bum up, and I can do 14 hours, 16 hours of work, but I can't do freaking 2 hours on the temple that houses the soul, because we've only got one body. We've got to start looking after it. Anyway, when I say we, I mean me and you. There's no one else here, it's just me. And you're sitting here alongside me, helping me get there, and I appreciate it. So we're making some steps, when you have a not so flash day dietarily, and you can still be chipper up at 4 a.m. and ready to take on that next 2 days with a sense of I'm ready to rock on it, well, it's a good thing. Something's good in the head then if that's the case. Something worked. I don't know if it's that I set the concrete outcome that I want, 110 by Arnold's. Maybe that's it. Don't know. All I can tell you is this is what I'm doing, and time will tell. Time will tell. And if you're listening to this and after this there's, another 200 episodes to go, don't listen ahead. Stick with me on the journey. Don't listen to 4 episodes in a row. Don't listen to tomorrow's if it's there. Listen to this and then spend a day doing what we've talked about. Then listen to tomorrow. Plenty of podcasts for you to listen to skip ahead. This one isn't about entertainment. This one's about, primarily, initially, it's about me changing my life. But if you can change yours at the same time, happy days, even if there's only one person that does. All right, I'm going to turn around, head back to the car. So we've been going for half hour, so that'll be another half hour on the way back. That'll be a good hour walk, and then I've got some work to do. Holy crap. All right. So ET yesterday, cleanse today, cleanse tomorrow. Let's keep rocking. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. You're a legend.